What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the J2H channel on this rainy, shitty Saturday morning. Got a quick little random video for you guys today. Was kind of bored and I thought I'd make this list. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my top five, we're going to call them guilty pleasure WWE PPVs. Now, there's a couple things, requirements for these. They can't be a WrestleMania. They have to be a WWE/WWF pay-per-view that I own on DVD and that I've seen multiple times. So there's 4 qualifications. Just in case you're wondering why there's not a ton of these and ton of different ones or whatever, what have you on these. These are just 5 DVDs that I have that I've watched a couple times, which is why I have them on DVD. Instead of just watching them on the network. So, I'll explain as I go on too. But first, we're going to start it off with Survivor Series 2002. Now, I've seen this, I couldn't tell you how many times through. It's the first Elimination Chamber match. It was also the oldest DVD I had for the longest time until I got that WrestleMania 15 DVD. But I like this for a couple reasons. This card for a couple reasons. Well, first of all, that's one of my favorite songs of all time, Saliva's Always. So they performed that. And I think there's a music video in here too. And these don't have to have the best cards, and again, they're my guilty pleasures, so I just like watching them through. You can never go wrong with a 6-man tables match, and I think that's when the Dudleys reunite. Scott Steiner debuts. A really good triple threat WWE Tag Team Championship match here. Lesnar losing to the Big Show / losing for the first time, and really the Elimination Chamber match. It's kind of a one match pay-per-view, but at the same time it's not. These all hold up even with time. So, but again, this was one of the older ones, and I just kept watching it through over and over. And this happens I think on 4 of the 5 that besides WrestleMania, I only have this DVD for that whole year. So 2002, I have WrestleMania 18 on DVD, and other than that, I just have this for 2002. So. But anyway, so we got Survivor Series 2002. Up next, we got some Backlash 2004. Now, this is special to me for a couple reasons. When I was a lot younger, we had a Blockbuster in Coldwater. And we used to go on like days, in our summer break, we'd go to the lake. And they would always go to Family Video. And I rented this DVD and Bad Blood 2004 were like the 2 wrestling DVDs they had. And I rented this so many times that when they went out of business, I couldn't watch it anymore, so I went ahead and bought it. I think it was in one of those tagged classics way back in the day. Now this event I like watching. My favorite match on this, and probably everybody's, is the Orton Cactus Jack match. That was a great match. Crazy brutal. Jerry and Jonathan Coachman, Victoria and Lita, huge Victoria mark. I've had a crush on her since I was like 11, 12. Edge and Kane, handicap match. I pop this in and I like watching it all the way through, but once it gets to this, it's just going to be, the sky's the limit from there. Orton and Cactus Jack, they had one of my favorite matches probably of all time. And then the rematch, the triple threat rematch from WrestleMania 20 is really good as well, with Benoit as the champion going in and coming out this time. Really like this event. Like I said, I've rented this I don't know how many times. But I do own several 2004 DVDs, so this isn't one of those cases. And it is this is the only one on the list that was a singular show event. As far as Raw or SmackDown or ECW. Up next, we have No Mercy 2007, Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. Now, I like this event because, remember, I had a track phone or something. I was looking up the results for it, and I kept being like, "Oh, holy crap! Oh, holy crap!" Because the title changes hands. Starts off the night vacant, and then Orton and Triple H wrestle for it. Or no, starts off vacant. Vince McMahon assigns the belt to Orton, and then he immediately loses it to Triple H. And then Triple H defends it against Umaga. And then Triple H and Randy Orton have a last man standing for that title, and Randy Orton wins it back. So I always thought this was a really fun pay-per-view. There's 3 title matches for 1 title, plus you still have the World Heavyweight Championship. It might be in a Punjabi prison, but you still have that, and the ECW Championship. So it's really like almost like a saga. It's so fun to watch. Rey Mysterio and Finlay, it's not here or there. Candice and Beth Phoenix in a women's championship match. And I think they have I think it's Jeff Hardy and Brian Kendrick and Paul London versus Mr. Kennedy and Lance Cage, Trevor Murdoch. I think that's a bonus match. But either way, every other match is a world championship match. And it's just so fun to watch, I think. And this is really like when Orton started being a heel and believable as a heel and just started dominating. Really like this. I've watched this several times all the way through. And besides WrestleMania 23, I think I might have Royal Rumble 2007. But other than that, this is the only 07 pay-per-view I have. I'll have to check to see if I have Rumble 07. Up next, we got Unforgiven 2008. Now this one, a lot of people didn't like. I'm not quite sure why no one likes the scramble matches. I thought they were great. They were easy to watch and they were exciting, so you never knew what was going to happen. And this had 3 for the world title each. ECW Championship Scramble, WWE Championship Scramble, and the World Heavyweight Championship Scramble. Plus, you had unsanctioned Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. And then Chris Jericho wrestles again and wins his world title. Wins his first world title. Cody Rhodes and DiBiase versus Crime Time. God, I hated Crime Time. Did anyone else hate Crime Time? And then Michelle McCool versus Maurice. So, all in all, I like the scramble matches. Talking about each of these events, I want to go back and watch them. I just got the urge to watch these scramble matches as I was talking about them. But I really liked the scramble matches. And besides these 3, and I think there was one on the Bash. The Bash 2009, I think, had a scramble match. Or the Great American Bash 2008. One of them had another one, but there was only 4 total. And this one had 3, so I always, I made sure to pick up this event on DVD. And WrestleMania 24, and then this, the only 2008 DVDs I have. Again, just that, with it being on the network now, I've gotten rid of a lot of my collection. But even though I could go on the network and just load it up, why not just pop it in? And I don't have to have Wi-Fi or anything else or internet. I could just watch it. Up next, the 2009 DVD. And this is actually the 5th one, so this is the last one on the list. Backlash 2009. Another 3 branded event. Now this one I like because I don't remember what I was doing that night, but I didn't look up the results until the next day. And I remember every person I wanted to win had won. And I was super excited about it. Plus, it's not, you have some very uncommon matches on here. So you have the Kiss Cam. CM Punk and Kane, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Chris Jericho in a surprisingly good match. So you had a 6-man tag for the WWE Championship. I think that's very different booking, but I think it's interesting. It's fun booking. Whether the title should have switched hands at WrestleMania or not, that's not for me to judge, but I think it did well here. Hardy versus Hardy in the I Quit match was good. Jack Swagger versus Christian was good. John Cena versus Edge in a last man standing match was really good. All 3 world titles switched hands, which it's rare. It doesn't happen very often. But this is another fun match fun pay-per-view just to watch through. There isn't a theme like there is the last two as far as either 3 title matches or 3 scramble matches. But there's 3 very different, very interesting matches for the world titles. Again, it's just fun to pop in and watch, and just the cover art too is quite badass. More heel Orton. I think in preparation for Backlash next month, I might just watch this, pop it in one day, watch it all the way through. I've been doing that for Payback on the network because I've never seen any of the Payback events. So I've watched them all the way through on the network now. I did watch last year's Payback, but I watched that match between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles again. I do have 2 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 is Money in the Bank 2011. Now, the only reason this didn't make the list is because I haven't seen it all the way through. I've seen several matches several times, and I own the DVD, but I haven't watched it all the way through. Oh, and I forgot to say, Backlash 2009 and WrestleMania 25 are my only 2009 DVDs. So for 4 years if you count 2002, I have WrestleMania and then 1 event. Like they only made it on my list two times that whole year. But WrestleMania 2011 is known, or WrestleMania Money in the Bank 2011 is known for CM Punk and John Cena and the 5-star match. It's got 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, which are always fun. And Randy Orton versus Christian for the world title. And it's Christian. Randy Orton loses by DQ, but Christian is the world champion due to some stipulation. And being a huge Christian fan, him winning the big one was a huge deal. This and Extreme Rules 2011 are his big moments. So it's up there in my list. It would be like 6 or maybe 7 depending on this next one, but really good. And the next honorable mention is also Money in the Bank. It was last year's Money in the Bank 2016. Now these ones especially, with it being on the network, I watched them live on the network. They'll always be there. They always have been. I think I got this for $5 at a Meijer. But you don't see people buying them very often anymore. And the fact that I went out and actually bought it's a good sign for the pay-per-view. I do believe it was the greatest Money in the Bank pay-per-view of all time. But this one had, obviously, the Money in the Bank match. I had John Cena and AJ Styles. I can't remember the entire card. Let me see. I don't remember. Roman Reigns losing clean to Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. I remember freaking out when I saw that because I didn't get to watch it until the next day. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I closed the night before. I load this up on the Monday. I watch it, and I was live, and I see him go over clean, see Seth Rollins win, and I was freaking out. And then, Dean Ambrose cashing in was kind of a cool treat. Not a huge Dean Ambrose fan at all. But I like the cover. I like the, what went down as far as Money in the Bank 16. It's a good event, and I think this would be number 6, now I think about it, over Money in the Bank. But anyway, guys, those are my top 5 guilty pleasure WWE pay-per-views. Feel free to definitely let me know if any of these are on your list, if you have a list, what's on your list, all that fun stuff. Be sure to give me a like, share, subscribe if you liked it. Leave me a comment. Check out some of my other videos. Really excited for Payback tomorrow. And I'm going to try to spit out some more videos now that it's not tax season. I've had the last 2 Fridays off. So anyway, guys, thank you much for watching, and I'll catch you later.